What up, YouTube? It's been a long minute. Figured I'd make an update video. I didn't do anything all winter to this car. Nothing at all. I kind of took the winter off and just kind of relaxed and focused on some other stuff in my life. The car just kind of sat here. Didn't do much with it. Drained the fuel out of it. Did things like that. Did a couple winter things, So I'm just gonna dive right in. So as you can see, the carburetor is missing again. So I ordered some new parts for it. So I'm gonna get these new parts put in, and let's go ahead and show you what I got. So I went ahead and ordered these nice Holley float bowls, fuel bowls, whatever you want to call them. So instead of, I've been rocking the stock like bronze ones. Obviously, since I have completely changed this carburetor 100% now, nothing besides these bowls actually remains from the original carburetor I bought. So something I've been wanting to do is tally up the money I have in this carburetor compared to buying, a quick fuel E85. So maybe at the end of this video, I'll kind of tally that up and give you a price on what I've actually spent on this carburetor. I'm just going to put the price of the parts that you would need, not every little tiny itty bitty thing I have spent money on in this carburetor. That would be probably a ridiculous amount of money. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of dive in. You don't need a step-by-step on how to do this, so maybe just here and there I'll throw a little video up talking about what I'm doing. So, alright y'all, let's get this rocking. Alright, so we're back. I just decided to, you don't need to see the tear down or nothing like that, so here we go. We got it all tore apart now. I got this all cleaned up, the throttle plate's all cleaned up. I don't know if it's a characteristic with the alcohol or what, but it was just really sticky. Like on the blades and in the ports and everything, it was just really sticky. And then like where the gasket was not, it was really sticky. So I just used some good old O'Reilly's carbon choke cleaner, put it on a rag. I tried using a paper towel and the rag seemed to work the best. So a good old Speedway Motors rag. So we got that done. We got the new fuel bowls all assembled. Everything's in there. I cleaned up the metering blocks, so I sprayed them out with the carbon choke cleaner. Blew some air through all the ports. Same with this. I blew air through all the ports, sprayed all the ports out with carbon choke cleaner. Just, did a general cleaning of it. Everything seemed to be fine. There was no chunks of anything in there. So now I think we're going to go ahead and assemble it. One thing I thought I'd point out is this is a Proform. I think, as far as I understand, I think that Proform, Quick Fuel, and Holley are all a Holley corporation, or part of a Holley brand. So if you actually look at my cheap Proform main body, it says Quick Fuel Technologies on it. QFT, Quick Fuel Technologies. And this is a 750 main body. I believe I bought the main body that had one part number for a 600 to 800 carb. So I think that they're just saying in general this can flow as much as you need, up to 800 CFM, just depending on jets and throttle plates and everything. This throttle plate, I believe, is a little bigger than this. I was gonna mic it, but my mic is dead. I don't have any batteries for it either. So maybe some other time, or maybe before I do that, I do need to run to the hardware store, so maybe I'll check it out. Sorry, our neighbor's car is loud. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start assembling this baby. Let's get it all put together, and hopefully we can get it put back on. Cutting you back here. So I went and got a battery for my mic. So this is, the bore of this is 166, and the bore of this is 168. So which this is about an inch and 11/16, I believe was 11/16 is about 0.68. So I think this is an inch and 11/16. So this kind of bevels it, so it starts a little smaller and gets bigger as it goes to the port. So this is a little bigger than the throttle than the main body, just so you know. And then the gasket is actually, it's actually like just a hair smaller than the throttle plate. So I mean, I could probably widen it out a little bit, but I'm not worried about that. I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. A little. All right, well, there's the finished product. All put together now. It's looking pretty good. So now I gotta clean up the intake so I can put the new gasket on, and I'll go ahead and get this thing put on. All right, y'all, there it is, all hooked up, put back in the car. Everything's good to roll. Still got to get some fresh gas for the car. I'm really not sure if they've changed out the winter E85 yet. I need to go get a test kit because I kind of want to get, I need to get some gas in it, but I kind of want to test the fuel first, see what I'm getting. So I've never done that before. I always just go to the same gas station where I know a lot of the local racers go for it, and I hear it's the highest quality. So that's usually where I go. So I think this year, when I go get gas, I'm gonna test it and see what I got. So anyway, there we go, all hooked up, ready to rock. I think it looks pretty good. I'm really happy with how it looks. It really kind of made the engine bay here look a little bit nicer. Getting rid of them bronze bowls. So, all right, guys, there we go. There is officially 0 things left from the original carburetor that I bought when I first started this. Nothing. The only thing that was left on that carb was the bowls, and now we are gone. So this is officially a 100% self-built, pieced together E85 carburetor. So I'm gonna get together them numbers, and maybe I'll just throw it out in a picture, kind of a breakdown of everything I had. So, all right, guys, later. Yo, what up, guys? All right, so this is the end of that little carb build. I got the carb on, got everything hooked up. I had a tiny little leak in my inlet right here. I had a leak, so I had to go buy 2 different sets of gaskets. The ones that ended up working were these Holley gaskets. They're actually a nylon gasket. This is the part number 26102. They're a real thick nylon gasket, and it worked great. Just had a little leak, and I just couldn't get it to stop, and finally I bought those, and it worked. So car's running real good now. Carb was virtually set perfectly. So got the leak fixed, got it out on the road. I'll show you one of the little things I did here. So there's my secondary idle adjuster, that little bolt right in there. Can you see it? Hopefully you see that. That little bolt right in there, if I wasn't so wobbly, that little bolt right in there is what I'm using to set my idle now. Instead of the primary circuit, I'm using that to set my idle, because there is a transfer slot in the primaries, which goes from, it uses vacuum, I believe this is the correct way it works. It transfers the vacuum from the idle circuit to the drive circuit. So you don't want that to be too far open, because then it kind of messes up your carburetor basically. It doesn't function properly. So what I did was I set the throttle blades to where that transfer slot is just barely showing, which is, from what I understand, the way you're supposed to set it. And now I use the secondaries to adjust my idle. So I have a little 5/16 socket on a tiny little extension, and you just stick it under there, and you can twist that and adjust the secondary throttle blades, which in turn adjusts your idle. So that is working great. The other thing I did, a little trick I showed you was I purchased this secondary throttle linkage kit. So this is an adjustable throttle linkage kit for your secondaries. Here's the Holley part number for this. So here's how it works. It hooks to from your throttle to your secondary blades, and you can totally adjust this thing to where you want it. You can even set it up in a 1-to-1 ratio. So if you hook it into this hole in your throttle blade, and then you have to cut off a section of your throttle blade for this to work, but you can hook it up for 1-to-1, so you move your throttle, the secondary is open at the same time. I didn't need that. I feel like that's a race only kind of thing, so I chose the progressive, the way it normally works. But now I have the idle set to where it idles pretty decently, so I have this adjusted to where the rod is all the way bottomed out onto the throttle blades without pulling on the throttle blades. So it's all the way as close as it can possibly go to the insides of the holes without actually pulling on the throttle and messing up my idle. So it's probably twice as quick to open up the secondaries as that little rod was, and it's working great. My AFRs are looking great. The only problem I have right now is under full throttle, I'm getting a slight, I don't know what you want to call it. I would call it a detonation, but I don't think that's what it is, because this should not detonate. I believe the timing is set at 15 degrees, and I also purchased an E85 fuel tester. The fuel I'm getting from the gas station I always go to currently, as of 2 days ago, is almost E90. So maybe I'm getting too much fuel in there because of the potency of the alcohol. So maybe I do need to lean it out a little bit. I don't know. My AFRs are great, but when I'm hitting, 5,000-6,000 RPM, you can just hear it just popping and blah, blah, blah. I don't know how to describe it. Like I said, I would almost call it detonation, but I don't feel like that's the right term for it. So maybe I need to give it more timing. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to give it a little more. I might adjust the timing and see if that helps. If not, then maybe I need to take some fuel out of it now. My new float bowls are looking great. I'm very happy with them. I'm really excited about the fact that I can actually see my float level without taking out them stupid little screws. And I have them set almost perfect. If anything, I need to come up a little bit in the rear. Because a lot of the guys I talk to with E85, they say that their float levels are actually up above the little sight hole just a little bit. So maybe, and that's probably smart. So yeah, anyway, I don't want to keep talking your ear off. I already made this video twice because I was talking too much, and here I go talking again. So, all right, guys, I'm going to try to keep you updated on what I'm doing this summer. It's starting to get nice out. I'm starting to get the bug again. So I will keep videos rolling, even if I'm just doing something stupid, whatever. If you guys want to watch, you can watch. If not, hey, don't click on the video. Thanks for watching, though. Appreciate it. Okay, guys, so as I said, I was going to give you a little breakdown of some of the stuff I've put into this carb and how much I've spent. So you can already see my total down here, $605. So what that includes is my new float bowls that I just bought. So this is if you were just to build the carburetor that I have right now. So the Holley bowls, these are the part numbers, that's the price, both part numbers. The main body that I have, the ProForm, this is a 750 main body. That's the part number, that's the price. This is the ProForm throttle plate that is good up to, I think, an 850. Part number, price. These are all Summit. I bought all this on Summit. So there's, the part numbers will say SUM dash whatever. The Quick Fuel E85 kit. So this is the rebuild kit. So that includes, all the gaskets and nylon bushings and stuff like that for alcohol E85. So that's what this kit is. This is the rebuild kit. This is the Quick Fuel E85 metering block kit. So there's the part number, there's the price. This includes the metering blocks, some gaskets, I believe, and I think that was about it. This is the Summit Nitrofill floats. These also include jet extensions, which you need for the secondaries. You have to put secondary jet extensions in so you don't run lean under full throttle conditions. So this one has a ×2 because this kit only includes one float and one set of jet extensions, so you got to buy two for 2 floats. And then this is the power valve plug, because I don't run a secondary power valve. A lot of research I've read says that you don't necessarily need it for a street car, or even a naturally aspirated car. From what I understand, that's usually like a blower kind of situation. So this does not include some of the other random crap that I bought, like my jet kit, multiple power valves, multiple gaskets, my idle air bleed screws. You know, if you were to buy, let's pause there. Let's jump over to this. So this is what you would spend on this exact carburetor, pretty much the exact carburetor, if you would just buy it from Quick Fuel, a 750 E85 carb, already set up, already has everything in it. So they say, do I know that this carburetor would come and just you'd slap it on your car and run perfectly? No, I do not. I don't know that. So maybe I would have been winning, because we're at $605 just with the main parts. So like I said, that's not even including my jet kit, which I think was $50. The multiple power valves I put in this thing, just tuning it. Squirters. God, I can't even think of all the shit. The little secondary adjuster linkage, it was $30 itself. You know, I'm already up to the $700. So hindsight is always 20/20, they say. I should have just spent the money and bought a Quick Fuel 750 E85 carb, because in the long run, obviously I would have saved myself some time and money. But did I have $790 laying around just to drop on this carburetor when I bought it? No. What I ended up doing was buying a 750 double pumper off of eBay, which was I think $70, and then I converted it with the metering blocks and then the rebuild kit. So I purchased these two things first. It was okay, and then I discovered that my throttle plate was shit, so I had to buy a new throttle plate. Well, eventually that I couldn't get any further with my main body because I couldn't get all the adjustments out of it, so I bought the main body that is a chokeless main body that has air bleeds. And then, you know, I had to buy all these things for the other main body, and then eventually I just got tired of looking at the old bronze float bowls, so now I have the nice Holly ones. So progression, spending this much money, or right off the bat dropping it, being done with it, you decide. Honestly, I'm gonna say I should have just spent the money and bought the carburetor, but like some of my other buddies said, hey, you tuned it, you have a bunch of extra parts, you learned a crap ton about carburetors. Whether or not I'm giving you the correct information, I don't know. Just shit I've read online, things I've read in my Holly books. Yeah, so I've learned quite a bit about carburetors and how they function and the proper ways to tune them, and I'm still learning those things. It's not an easy thing to learn because there's a lot that goes into them. So, alright guys, I'll quit talking about this. There's the breakdown of everything that I have bought, all the money I have spent, and this is just the main parts. So keep that in mind. This is only the main parts, and it's already at $605. This honestly depresses me a little bit. I can't believe I've soaked that much money into this carburetor. So, alright guys, I'll quit talking later.